Hey, this is Daniel from Adorama. I'm outside my studio here in New York City with Annalisa, and we're making some portraits today. I wanted to experiment with making some wide-angle portraits since I had the brand new Tokina F2 20mm lens here for my Sony, and I thought, you know, I could go out and shoot landscapes and other things you might do with the 20mm, but I thought a portrait would be really fun to do. So we're gonna do two different styles of portraits. We're gonna do a really dramatic portrait out here first, where I'm gonna light it up with a big Elinchrom light. We're gonna kind of overpower the sun a bit and give her shape. She's gonna wear a nice dress, kind of dramatic shot. I'm gonna get a little bit low and get a lot of the environment in the shot. So at that distance, even with the wide angle lens, she's gonna look pretty normal. It's not gonna have any distortion or anything because of my distance to her, but I'll get all kinds of environment. So basically an environmental portrait. So for this first shot, I wanted to get like a really big dramatic shot. Like I said, in order to do that, I wanted to get a nice dark blue sky, and it's the middle of the day here in New York, so we have a blue sky, but it's not so dark and the sun's really harsh. So what I did was I used the sun as a backlight on Annalisa to give her some shape, and then I brought my Elinchrom in and I overpowered it in a sense. I set my strobe to be about f22. So I'm shooting at f22 at a 200th of a second, which is essentially making the sky darker than it really is, overpowering it, if you will. So that's going to give me a certain look to the image. And of course with f22, I get all kinds of depth of field, so I'm getting nice, sharp, crisp buildings behind her. It's very graphic, so it creates a really kind of interesting shot. So while Annalisa is changing for the next shot, I want to talk a tiny bit about the lens. It is an f2 lens, so it's tremendously fast, and actually you can turn off the click in the aperture. So if you want to use it for video, you can kind of, you don't have the sound of the clicks on the aperture, or if you're a stills photographer like I'm doing right now, it's nice to have those clicks to hear where you're at. It's got a really close focuser. That was one of the reasons why I was inspired to use this for these portraits. 0.28 meters, so I can get right in close to her when I want to focus, which is going to cause all kinds of distortion, and we're going to be really playful with this one. I'm just basically using the natural light coming from behind her, letting it overexpose. Originally I was going to shoot at f2 to get it really shallow behind her, but with us moving and jumping around and being that close to her, I figured I'd be better be safe. So I ended up shooting around f8 at 500th of a second, and that allowed us to kind of be playful and come in and out without having to keep stopping to make sure I was in focus. I actually purposely got a bunch of lens flares in these shots too, because I thought that'd be really fun. And I did have a reflector, but it didn't need to be used too much. We added it for some of the shots where we wanted our eyes to be brighter, but there's enough light bouncing around that it was pretty much just a natural light shot. So, had a lot of fun with this new Tokina lens. It really put me in a different spot, because normally when I think of portraits, I throw my 85 on the camera, so it was really fun to experiment with a different focal length. So thanks Tokina for dropping this off. I definitely want to play with it a little bit more, maybe shoot a few other things with it. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to subscribe to Adorama TV, and I'll see you next time.